Like all publishers, I often dreamt of finding treasure in the attic. Diaries, letters, notebooks, the forgotten or neglected testaments to past lives. Sometimes treasure did land on my desk, and occasionally it made its way into print, but too often the material was too fragmentary, too marginal, or simply too dull to be of interest beyond the immediate family. Then along came Joanna, George and Henry. Their letters, which were found stored in a Tesco carrier bag in the attic at South Park, not only told a story of artists at work during the Pre-Raphaelite period, but revealed a whole family saga, at the centre of which was a love story. George and Joanna Boyce were the children of an indulgent pawnbroker father and a capricious, socially ambitious mother. Both seriously committed themselves to art at an early age. Joanna studied landscape drawing when she was only 11, and George went regularly to Betsy Coed in Wales, a haunt of aspiring sketchers and watercolourists. There, in 1849, he met Henry Wells, already an accomplished miniaturist, and the two became friends. Then Henry fell in love with Joanna. Joanna's mother opposed the match. Joanna found herself at the mercy of her own doubts, and the whole family was up in arms and took sides. As a result, the lovers saw very little of each other for several years, but they never stopped corresponding, and George, as their friend and confidant, and no mean letter writer himself, did not scruple to pitch in. It's a compelling story, not just a riveting account of a Victorian family's ups and downs. The saga of the anonymous letter alone would be a gift to any novelist, but a record of how Joanna, George and Henry worked, what they thought, the artist friends they met. They were all acquainted with Millet, Rossetti, Ruskin and Holman Hunt, and George shared at least 2 mistresses with Rossetti. Their extensive travels. Joanna spent several months studying under Thomas Couture in Paris, and the defining events of the age, including the Great Exhibition of 1851 and the Crimean War. Joanna eventually married Henry, and in spite of her scruples about the impossibility of being a serious artist and a good wife and mother, was blissfully happy. She died in 1861 following the birth of her 3rd child. She was not yet 30. And that might have been it. The original correspondence was destroyed by one of Hitler's bombs in the Baedeker raids on Bath of 1942. But thanks to Joanna and Henry's daughters, copies and transcripts survived. If their letters and diaries had been as humdrum as such letters and diaries usually are, that might also have been it. They weren't. Joanna, George and Henry are so alive on the page that I have come to know them as friends and to love them too. It has been a pleasure and a privilege to tell their story as far as possible in their own words and illustrated with so many hitherto unknown paintings and sketches. Treasure indeed, as I hope you will agree.